looking at the footprint chart over here. Now, this is where it's very important to bring this up into the context. So the way that I trade using footprint charts is using the order flow. This, what you see in your screen, is the chart settings I use on the ATAS platform. So of course you have your background, you have your OHLC colors, you have the indicator labels, you have all these things. These are the visual settings. You can change the grid, you can get rid of the grid lines, you can add the axis. You have a lot of your regular kind of visual settings, but when you go into the cluster settings, this is where it gets interesting, right? Because we need to understand what is meant by order flow in the first place. So if you haven't watched some of my previous videos on order flow, I recommend checking those out. But what you're looking for essentially is you want the content. So the content is what's behind every candle. We're going to be going over that later on in the video. Content simply refers to what you are looking for in the order flow footprint chart. So you want to be using the bid and the ask, right? Not volume, not trades, and nothing else. You want the bid and you want the ask. So what does the bid and the ask mean? So the bid represents the total number of aggressive sellers hitting the market live. The ask is the opposite. It's the total number of aggressive buyers hitting the market. So you have sellers on the left and buyers on the right. Just keep that in your brain, right? If there's one thing you want to ingrain in your brain, not to rap, but you need to have bid is aggressive sellers and ask is aggressive buyers. Notice the word aggressive, because we're going to discuss the difference between aggressive and passive participants. So it's not about who's in control in terms of liquidity and time and fair value gaps. These are all great concepts, but you need to pair this with the overall understanding of who is aggressive and who is passive. And this is what traders lack. Okay, so we're going to be going over the ask, and for the mode, we want to be looking at delta, not volume, but delta, right? So the delta gives you the ask minus the bid, right? So to keep things very simple, you can have a positive delta and a negative delta. A positive delta intuitively means that there's more aggressive buyers than there are aggressive sellers. It is positive. A negative delta is it's flipped on its head. There's more aggressive sellers than there are aggressive buyers. So you need to understand red is more aggressive sellers and buy is more aggressive, and blue, sorry, is more aggressive buyers, right? That is the only thing we want with the overall footprint chart, right? It's understanding the bid and the ask, and you're pairing that with the delta. Now let's have a look on the candlestick chart. So now as price comes into this key level, this is the blue 15-minute key level.